Am I the asshole for telling my daughter to get over herself? I was blessed with 3 beautiful children and unfortunately, my eldest, Brooke, passed away when she was 5 years old. It rocked my world and I know I haven't been the same since. I went through therapy and still attend to this day, but a part of me died too. I will never let my daughter be forgotten. I bring pictures of her to events such as holiday celebrations and birthdays. I talk about her all the time. Every year on my living children's birthdays, I think of her and how her once younger siblings are now older than her. My daughter, Marnie, is getting married next month. I asked her if she was having a memorial table and she said no. I asked her about creating a seat for her sister who passed, as she should be a part of the day. Marnie told me no, for once she wants a day about her. She says she couldn't have one event that wasn't about Brooke. Even her graduation, I had put a picture of her on the seat. She said I needed to stop making my grief front stage. I told her she was being incredibly selfish and until she goes through a loss like this, she'll never understand. Marnie asked me if her kids would have to live under the shadow of Brooke too. I told her she should be ashamed and to get over herself. My son says I'm being terrible and I need to re-evaluate my life. Am I the asshole? You do realize that you've made your living children feel like they don't matter, right? You are the asshole. I cannot imagine your loss, but you've hurt your 2 living children by never allowing them to move on, and in your fear of having Brooke forgotten, you have ensured that they resent her memory. I'm going to be blunt, because apparently your own children telling you you're terrible is not enough to get through to you. Most bad parents only manage to sow discord between their living children. You've accomplished the rare feat of causing the living to resent the dead. If you do not believe in an afterlife, then it follows that none of what you are doing to remember Brooke is actually for Brooke, it's for you. Stop being selfish. If you do believe in an afterlife, then surely you understand that Brooke doesn't want a table at Marnie's wedding, she wants a place in Marnie's heart. That's not going to happen until you stop turning all of your kids' important life events into a decades-long memorial for Brooke. You are the asshole. My 20-year-old brother killed himself and it consumed my dad. He didn't care about me or anyone else. All he cared about was my brother. It's pretty rough when your parents' favorite kid is their dead one. You are the asshole. I say this with the most love I can muster, but you are the one who needs to get over yourself. YTA as a mother who lost her son when he was 3, I couldn't imagine doing this to my daughter. Sure, I talk about her brother, but not at every event she has would I do what you are doing. Her birthdays are about her, not me or her brother. Your son is right, you are pushing away your living children to hold on to your pain. You are the asshole. I know it's painful to think about. Sounds like grief therapy would help. You are allowed to process however you want, but your children do not have to be burdened by your grief. You are the asshole. You recognize you are driving 2 of your kids away because of this. How long has this been going on? 15 years maybe. Your 2 kids have been competing and losing to their eldest sibling for a long time. You are the asshole. Is your therapist really in agreement that you have a memorial to your deceased daughter at every event? You have children who are alive and well, and if you don't get this under control you will lose them too. It's your daughter's day. Let her have a day where it is all about her and not about your grief. I feel so bad for your children. To have to live in the shadow of their deceased sister and never have their mother's absolute love. You are the asshole. Your daughter is telling you her feelings, and it sounds like you have, as she said, made your grief center stage in every event. Since your eldest passed at 5, I'm assuming your other kids barely remember her, if at all, and yet you've made every event in your life about her. I'm so sorry for your loss and I understand the grief will never leave you, but don't let it do further damage to the relationship you have with your living children. Am I the asshole for calling my oldest daughter by her real name? I'm typing from my phone, so sorry for any grammar mistakes. Basically, this whole mess started 3 weeks ago. Some background info. I have 2 kids. One is a cis female, 16 years old, and the other just came out as trans, MTF. 13 years old. I love both my daughters immensely, and have been trying to help the younger one through transitioning as much as possible. The older one's name is, let's say, Eleanor. She's always hated her name, and has been called Ellie since she was very little, like 1 or 2. Anyway, when my other daughter came out as trans, we had a convo where we talked about what it meant for her, what she wanted, etc. At the end, I ask if she wants to go by a different name. She says yes, and wants to go by Ellie. The older one immediately goes, "But that's my name," and both my husband and I are dumbfounded. Ellie, the younger one, I'm going to call her E to avoid confusion from now on. Says it's her favorite name ever and she loves it very much, and suggests her sister start going by Eleanor. Eleanor literally despises the name Eleanor, and to my knowledge, no one actually calls her Eleanor, everyone calls her Ellie. My husband asks E if she'd prefer being called a different name, but E refuses. Eleanor also doesn't want to go by Eleanor, so we currently have both our daughters wanting to go by Ellie. We've been calling Eleanor her real name and E Ellie, and Eleanor thinks that I'm being an asshole by letting her sister go by Ellie, and Ellie thinks Eleanor is being an asshole. I know this sounds like a shitpost, and I honestly still can't believe it's real. I don't know what to do. Am I being an asshole by letting E go by Ellie? Edit. I forgot to mention that I've mostly been calling both of them Ellie, and trying to get E by something else, but she won't. I've explained to E that it's not fair to her sister, but she doesn't really care. When I told her she needed to pick a different name, she basically gave me the silent treatment. Yes. You are the asshole. I get she's going through a rough time, but that doesn't mean she gets to steal her sister's name. The real Ellie shouldn't have to give up her name of 16 years because her younger siblings decided they wanted that name. Your older daughter is going to resent you for not drawing some boundaries. You are the asshole. Tell Ellie too that she absolutely cannot steal her sister's name. Period. End of discussion. And apologize to the older one for calling her a name she hates immediately. By the way, the title is super misleading. Am I the asshole for allowing my younger daughter to steal her older sister's name of 16 years? There. Fixed it for you. You are the asshole for even allowing this to happen. You absolutely should not be calling E by her sister's name. Hell, call her E, but you should not allow her to take her sister's name. And then for her to suggest that the older sister go by a name she hates? So it's okay to basically dead name Ellie but not E. Not okay. E doesn't matter more than Ellie. Edit. Punctuation. YTA. Your youngest daughter doesn't get to make her older sister change the name she goes by. There are millions of other names in the world she can choose. You are the asshole. You do not let one child literally take a name the other has gone by her whole life. Your oldest is correct. You are the asshole. WTF? You're literally taking your older daughter's name. Trans or not, you don't get a free pass to steamroll over other people to get what you want. I'm also trans and trust me, there's a million names out there that feel like the one. She can find another one. You are the asshole. So what else of your oldest daughters have you forced her to give up because her younger sister wanted it? Am I the asshole for exclusively dressing my twin sons in color-coded shirts? I have a set of identical twin boys 1.5 years old. My husband and I are both forgetful and having a new baby is tiring. I was scared of getting them mixed up. So we decided the older baby, Atticus, would be blue, and the younger one, Ezra, would be green. We bought only green or blue onesies at first, figuring that once their personalities developed more I would integrate more colors. Most of both sides of the family know we do this, and quite a few even use it to still tell the boys apart despite my husband and I being able to know which is which no problem, such as after bath when neither is dressed. Since the boys are so young we let them pick their shirts, but we have a dresser with the top painted blue for Atticus and one with the top green for Ezra. The boys know which dresser belongs to them. They each have an average amount of shirts, just they are either a majority blue or a majority green. They have different decorations on them, such as Hulk or Captain America, the green or blue character from their favorite show PJ Masks. Even their church clothes are blue or green button-ups. We had a Christmas party over the weekend. The boys showed up in a blue sweater with a snowman on it. Other had a green sweater with a Christmas tree on it. Many people said they looked adorable. My husband's cousin cornered me and told me that I was stifling the boys' individuality since I am forcing them to dress how I want them to. When I told her I would probably diversify shirts when they turned 3, maybe starting at 2.5, she went ballistic, saying that it isn't fair to them. I tried pointing out that no 1.5-year-old knows what they are wearing, has a say in what gets bought, nor do they care. Am I the asshole for dressing them in their own color and nothing else? My husband's cousin cornered me and told me that I was stifling the boys' individuality since I am forcing them to dress how I want them to. Not the asshole. In the nicest way possible, your husband's cousin is nuttier than squirrel turds. They're a year and a half. Every baby at that age is forced to dress how their parents want them to. They are small and have very little pocket money with which to purchase clothing, and they rarely have the fine motor skills necessary to dress themselves. Not the asshole. The color coding is for you and others to tell them apart. Nobody is being harmed here, especially not your twins. Not the asshole, they are 1.5 years old. When they start to voice their opinions, then you can listen and adjust accordingly. Not the asshole. You should have thanked your cousin for offering to buy both boys entirely new wardrobes, and for volunteering to be their exclusive babysitter in order to figure out their individuality, so she knows what to buy them. Not the asshole. They are your kids, not hers. As long as you dress them comfortable for their age, I think she should mind her own business. Who lets a 1-year-old pick their own clothes? She can feel free to dress her own toddlers the way they like. I always swore that I wouldn't buy pink dresses for baby girls. My oldest got her first at 18 months. We went to the store and got her hands on it and she loved it. As long as you take your cues from your kids, not the asshole. Father of identical twin girls here. Not the asshole. We did not do this, but I occasionally wished we had. We never had any trouble telling them apart at the time, but it is sometimes tricky trying to identify them in pictures, especially if it is only one. Not the asshole. If you keep it up when they have an opinion, then yes, you would be the asshole, but at this age? Absolutely not. Am I the asshole for not allowing my ex-Mill to have a key to my house? So me and my ex have been separated for 2 years, we separated on good terms and we get on well despite our differences. We do have a 3-year-old daughter and he works a lot so doesn't get to have our daughter often. For this reason I gave him a spare key to my house so that he could pop in and see us whenever he wanted. I completely trusted him with this key. For context, I have never had a good relationship with my ex's mother. She's always hated me and accused me of ruining her son's life by getting pregnant so young. I was 18. She hates me so much that when I was pregnant with our daughter she threatened to take me to court to gain full custody of my daughter. When I found this out I was of course furious and did confront her. They were empty threats as I honestly think she knew she'd be fighting a lost battle. She despises me and honestly I'm not her biggest fan either. I haven't much interacted with her since I left my ex except from the fortnightly visits where I take my daughter to her house. Well, my ex has been coming over to the house as usual but has not been using his key. At first I thought nothing of this, but it became more frequent and so I said, if you're not going to use your key I'll have it back. He then informed me that his mum had asked for the key so that she had access to the house and to see her granddaughter whenever she wanted. He told me he agreed. I lost my temper completely. After everything I'd gone through in the past I had absolutely no idea why he thought it would be a good idea to give his deranged mother my key. I told him I wanted it back immediately and that I no longer wanted him to have a key. He's furious at me, saying his mother is in pieces as all she wants is to know that she can see her granddaughter whenever she so pleases. I told him that that was in no way realistic and that if she wished to spend time with my daughter she could message or call me and I'd bring her over with me there also. This wasn't good enough and now him and his family are not speaking to me. So am I the asshole? Edit. My ex only had a key as he would often come around dinner time and having to leave the stove or stop doing chores etc. every day became very tedious and it was simply convenient for him to carry a key. It was a very minor inconvenience but it made my day slightly easier. My child was never left home alone. Update. Locksmith has been called. Glad I'm not going insane, thank you all. Not the asshole. Start documenting these things. Exact dates. Exactly what they do and say. This sounds like a course leading to a restraining order on the mill. Be prepared for that date. Stand your ground firmly on this issue. If he wants to invite her over while caring for his daughter? That's his choice. Giving her access to your home is a gross violation of trust, and you are right to revoke that access. Personally? Don't ask for the key back. Just change the locks. It will give you peace of mind that you are safe again. Not the asshole. Change your locks. She's likely made copies. Don't give him a key to the new lock. Not the asshole. No, the witch who threatened to take your daughter does not get to see her any time she pleases and definitely not without supervision. Change your locks and don't give your ex a new key. Not the asshole. Most grandparents cannot see their grandkids whenever they want. They have to contact the parents and make arrangements to meet up. Your ex-mill wants that key for some other reason, and I doubt it is a good one. Get your locks changed. Even if you get that key back, they might have made a copy of it. It is not all that expensive even if you get a locksmith to do it. Or you can rekey the locks yourself if you are good at DIY. And I'd look for signs that someone has been in your house while you were out. She clearly wasn't using the key while you were home, but that doesn't mean she didn't snoop around while you were out. Not the asshole. Change your locks. Not the asshole. Change the locks immediately. This woman will make a copy before she ever returns it. And if she has already threatened to fight for custody before, you don't know why she would do with that kind of unlimited access to your home. Plant drugs or trash the place and call CPS on you springs to mind. A tad extreme, but if this sub's taught me anything, it's that anything really is possible. Never give your ex a key. He has proven himself to be completely untrustworthy in violating yours and your daughter's safety. Document everything from now on, and anything you can remember and have proof of retroactively. I have a feeling you're going to need it. Not the asshole change your locks. Even if you get it back, she may make a copy before returning it. Nobody who does not live at your house should have a key for it, especially people who hate you. She can see her granddaughter by phoning you up and saying, "Hi, are you in, can I pop around," and not letting herself into someone else's home. Not the asshole. Even with friendly ex, automatic access to your house is a big privilege that was a result of a lot of trust. He broke that trust and now nobody gets a key. Don't even bother to argue the point with them, just change the locks ASAP.